Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's JoshAgeddon here with another WWE pay-per-view review, but I am not alone this time. Joining me at this time over Skype, hopefully this holds together long enough, Sean McCarthy. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Colonist is back.
Yes.
It's
And this
been
time,
forever.
and this
Actually
time,
forever.
and this time, not beating the crap out of the Shadow.
Well,
Which
we'll see how the video goes.
he might be tied
What's
down underneath the table.
He may show up.
Also,
Just say.
yeah, it's the Colonist. He has his own YouTube wrestling channel, Colonial Impact Wrestling, and it's awesome. It's on an older game, but at this point, the older games are much better than the newer games. So, yeah, that's.
And our whole gimmick is the fact that we're like the B and C show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
using
totally.
an older game kind of seems like the thing to do.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we watched WWE Summerslam 2017.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll give it this. It did not feel like it took forever, at least to me.
No, it didn't. I thought the pacing actually was some of the best pacing WWE's done in a pay-per-view in a long time.
Yeah, because like WrestleMania this past year, I thought the show was really good. It just felt like it took forever.
It did take forever. It was like 7.5 hour show.
Good God. And SummerSlam last year felt like it took forever. And the year before that felt like it took forever. But this show actually felt like a decent paced show, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it seemed like every match actually got time to tell this. Well,
Unfortunately.
almost every
Well,
match.
almost all of them got time. We'll get to that, but
Yeah.
neither one of us watched the pre-show, although I'm going to touch on this. Apparently, WWE goofed the pre-show a little bit because they started the pre-show when they were letting people in the building. So during the Miz Taraj Jason Jordan match, there was like legit 10
one
people,
dude there.
like 2 people in the arena. It was like a TNA match.
Well, it's GFW now.
Well,
Not
I mean-
TNA anymore.
I mean, is there really a difference? Is there?
I don't know. I haven't watched. I
Me
have no
either.
idea.
Me either.
How's that?
let us know in the comments if GFW if it's just TNA just with a different name, but that's what it felt like. I was like, am I watching WWE or am I watching GFW? I really can't tell. But yeah, it was funny. But apparently all the pre-show matches, although the Miz beat Jason Jordan clean, which is ridiculous.
I don't even know how to. I mean, the whole pre-show's booking was kind of strange. But,
There was so much hot potatoing titles on this show. Except for the
I mean,
US
that seemed
title.
to be the peak.
Except for the US title, which was refreshing for it not to change hands in a match. And as far as the Cruiserweight title match goes, apparently it was a decent match, but Neville won it back with a red arrow to the back of Tozawa. So why'd they give Tozawa the belt in the first place? I don't know. Just for a pop.
Because I think they, like us, don't care about 205 Live at all.
I
No,
want to care.
Yeah, well, I do too. Everybody wants to care. They just present it in a way that makes it uninteresting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? It's like,
I mean, it was a good Raw moment, I guess, but he lost the title like less than a week later, so it's really deflating. And apparently, the New Day Usos tag team match was awesome, and the Usos won. So
also confusing, because why did the New Day have it?
why did the New Day win at Battleground? Just I thought this was a decent show overall. Just some of the booking was just. I mean, par for the course, but especially with NXT the night before. NXT was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I love TakeOver. I thought TakeOver was really good.
Yeah, and
I think they really should start putting TakeOver maybe after SummerSlam, just because there's no comparison.
Yeah.
3 years running, TakeOver Brooklyn has beaten the holy hell out of SummerSlam match quality-wise.
Oh,
And it actually does take away, at least in my opinion, takes away from what I expect out of SummerSlam going in, you know?
especially it was so apparent last Takeover Chicago. They didn't even try with Backlash. It was like they gave up during Backlash.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that felt that way, that they just gave up?
Backlash could have been so much better.
Yeah, it was just. I don't think it was bad. It was just But
It's, what are you gonna do?
But you said the word bad. I think you're describing our opening contest here.
Oh,
The show opened with John Cena versus Baron Corbin in the Baron Corbin burial.
That was painful. That was actually painful because John didn't give a damn. He took JBL's hat. He was like skipping around the ring. Like that was like public embarrassment.
Yeah.
At its finest, and it still felt slow.
Oh God! Like
it was like a 7-minute match, and it felt like it took 20 minutes.
I didn't hate it as much as you did, but I did think it was very boring.
That's amazing to hear from you, considering your hatred, unbridled hatred of John Cena, that you disliked the match less than I did.
Well, I think the reason why my John Cena hatred has been somewhat mitigated this year is because of a certain other someone who has taken his place. But we'll get to that later.
Yes.
We'll get. Well, boy, will we get to that later.
The match could have been better, but don't piss the management off. I mean, it just goes to show how political WWE is.
I mean, and it's not to say that Baron Corbin wasn't being a cock, but still, just it's very childish.
Well, here's the thing too. It's like Cena's now coming back only for like these really special occasions. How was this special? John Cena was like the afterthought.
This was a special occasion.
Came, took a paycheck, and left. And he's like, all right, glad I came.
Notify Webster, special occasion is now just, ugh.
Well, there was... Remember when WWE was trying to pass off pay-per-views as special events?
Yeah.
Like, they were going to, like, not even use the term pay-per-view anymore.
Yeah.
And so now we have special occasions from John Cena.
And did it feel like that since Baron Corbin has been yelling at everybody on Twitter, that they purposefully ribbed him by have him yell at the crowd for 90% of the match?
I mean, that's also kind of part of Corbin's allure, though. I mean, that's been in a lot of his main rosters, him yelling at the crowd.
I feel that he does it way too much, and I'm like, we get it.
Oh, sure.
Just like most of your offense is insults at the crowd. Like, shut up, and you suck, and I'm just
They're
like...
They're not even clever. They're like 4-year-olds.
Yeah. Plus, you mentioned my hatred of John Cena. Not that I didn't think he sucked in this match, which I kind of did. Like, his dropkick to Baron Corbin was the most pitiful-looking dropkick.
The reason, we were talking about this before, the reason I don't like anything aerial that Cena does is that he splits his legs way too far. He doesn't keep them taut. And, you know, like, when you look at a dropkick, I'll use, like, 06, 07 Randy Orton.
Dude.
It was pinpoint.
AJ Styles dropkick.
AJ's dropkick, too, yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Baron Corbin didn't even sell this one. Baron Corbin...
I don't blame him for that.
I wouldn't have either, because it was pathetic.
And the fact that he knew that he was getting shit on that whole night, I think that didn't help either. So he's like, fine, I'm just not going to no-sell it.
And that tornado DDT, that Cena did looked so awkward. It looked so awkward. Like, Baron Corbin, he did it, did the move fine. He took a good bump for it. But Cena just looked awkward. I can't think of any other way to describe it. It looked like he was trying to do the move but brace himself at the same time. And I was just like, this is why I don't like watching you wrestle, because you just come off as awkward.
It's not the worst DDT I've ever seen him give, but it wasn't his best.
Remember the one he gave Randy Orton at the Royal Rumble in 2014? Ugh, that was terrible.
No, I don't. Because it must have been bad enough for me to just block it out of my memory entirely.
It was horrible.
But so that match for me, I gave that like a 2.5 out of 10.
I thought it was I thought it was very boring. Like the two things in the match that I did like the choke breaker. I thought that looked awesome, and I thought the deep six looked phenomenal. Other than that, like it felt like a TV match, a very boring TV match.
Yeah.
All right, so, and of course John Cena won clean with that move where Baron Corbin runs out of the ring, does a ring around the post, and then clotheslines someone, or in this case he ran in and then did the choke breaker, which I get the clothesline because he has momentum, but do you really have that much momentum coming off the... I wish he'd stop doing it. It's like an even more ridiculous version of Dean Ambrose's wacky line or lunatic lariat or whatever you call it.
I'm not a fan of the lunatic lariat at all. I don't mind that coming out and back in the ring if that spot is only done in a match once.
Yeah.
If you do it more than once, it just looks dumb. Like you're wasting time leaving the ring and getting back in the ring. That's wasting energy.
Yeah.
You could just get up where you are and just haul ass. I mean, Reigns hit spears like that, and nobody bats an eye.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that match was very boring. But anyway, up next was Natalya versus Naomi for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The women were very good on this show. Very good on the show.
Well, I was really happy with WWE and the fact that there were no multi-women matches on the show.
Yes.
Both of them got one-on-one matches, got time to tell a story, and made me invested.
Dude, the last year when they had that SmackDown 6-person tag at the last year's SummerSlam with the women, I almost fell asleep during that match, and I legit got up and used the bathroom. Like, not even in an ironic fashion, and it wasn't until while I was using the bathroom I was like, huh, I'm using the bathroom during a women's match. That feels bad.
Well, sadly, because they've booked the women so poorly, even through the Divas Revolution up to now.
Yeah.
I mean, save for a few occasions, when was the last time that we saw 2 one-on-one women's matches for their respective titles? It made the titles feel like they mattered.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah, the women on this show was really good. Well, not really good, but good. Solid. Yeah, solid. And anyone that knows me and my taste in wrestling knows that I absolutely cannot. I have an unbridled hatred in my heart for Naomi. Everything she does, I hate. Like her catchphrase, "Feel the glow." It makes me cringe. I hate her music. I hate her entrance. I hate her hair. Her eyes got on my nerves during the match because they just looked like weird bird eyes, and it was like, why? Just don't put anything on your eyelashes. Just do regular makeup. You don't have to make yourself look like a peacock. Anyway, and
I mean, that's kind of the over-exaggeration of what people wear now. I mean, did you see what Sasha Banks was wearing?
At
least
yes, I did. Yeah, it took me. Yeah, during the entrance, I thought it looked kind of cool.
My question was that she had that cameo with Bayley like 2 seconds before.
Oh.
When the hell did she have the time to put that on?
Dude, yeah, she got that on really quick, but we will get to Bayley in a second. Yeah, but
well, in any event, this match I thought it was solid. It's amazing how I didn't really realize it till now just how airtight Natalya is as a worker.
Natalya's really good. She's very good.
She has no wasted motion. She's got a lot of good psychology.
Yes.
I think she's been really misused.
Well, and Naomi, as much as I dislike Naomi, and a lot of that has to do with her in-ring ability, because she botches so often, and a lot of her moves look ridiculous. That jogging in place, kicks to the side, is the fakest looking bullcrap. I don't even like it when Mike Bailey does it. But at least he does it well.
Well, to be fair, that was probably the only spot in that match that actually didn't look that great. I thought Naomi did a way better job this time of not screwing everything up.
Yes.
You know, she definitely amped her game by being in the ring with Natalya, I think.
And the last time I saw Naomi and Natalya in a match together on pay-per-view, like one of the last times, you remember Night of Champions 2013 with the Fatal 4-Way with one of the Bellas, AJ Lee, Naomi, and Natalya? Do you remember that?
I remember the match, kind of.
The only thing I remember about that match was Naomi tried to go for a crossbody, but she overshot Natalya and face planted. Like, Natalya was...
Oh, yeah. I do remember
Oh,
that.
my God. That was absolutely hilarious.
That was funny.
Yes.
That was funny.
But
I remember she tried to do a springboard once, and she slipped, and, like, her stomach, like, hit straight into the ropes, and she flopped like a fish into the ring.
Oh, Naomi.
Like, oh, funny.
And that running leg stunner she does with the arms, it's her offense just looks bizarre and unbelievable. Like, I get it, she's supposed to be athletic and different, but she comes off as athletic and just unbelievable. But she was good in this match. She didn't screw anything up.
It was one of the better Naomi matches,
I think it's one of the best matches she's ever had.
That one's got a solid 6. I'm a little worried that they might hot potato the belt now, though.
Oh, I
give
hope
it back to Naomi, only because I could see them kind of bringing Charlotte back as a babyface because of the whole what's going on with Rick right now, like with him being in the hospital and whatnot.
Yeah.
She comes back. She's got a good sympathy thing. That'd be great to have Natalya keep the belt.
Yeah.
But I could also see WWE going like, oh, but we still want to market the glowing championship.
That title belt is absolutely hideous. The belt by itself looks fine. With that glow crap on it, it's uglier than the Universal title belt. It's uglier than that. Not as ugly as it's not as ugly as the Jeff Hardy belt in TNA, but it's not that bad. But at least that belt didn't glow in the dark.
Like the Egyptian drug addict's face on the championship belt.
That purple thing that he designed
that himself.
That explains a lot. I mean, that explains a lot.
It's kind of a rough time for Jeff.
But yeah, when Natalya walks out on SmackDown with the belt on Tuesday, I hope to God that she's taking that crap off, because it just makes it look like a toy.
I think Natalya really does deserve this. I really do. It's been a long time coming. It's been 6 years since he's held a championship.
Yeah, and this one doesn't look like a butterfly.
And I hope that she actually has, as a result of this, she gets a little more character development, because the last thing, notably, she had was farting.
Oh, 2012. What is wrong with you, 2012? But yeah, she won clean. I was surprised that she won clean, because, yeah, like, I was expecting Naomi to win, and I was also expecting a cash-in, but whatever. I was like...
I think Naomi's run had kind of run its course.
She wasn't... Like, in the ring-wise, I could tell she was trying, even though she's not very good, in my opinion. They have booked Naomi like crap ever since she won the title. It took her forever to get a win on SmackDown. The first time that she won a match after winning the title at WrestleMania was against Lana at Money in the Bank. The only person Naomi has beaten, like, significantly to make herself look like a champion is freaking Lana. Yeah, well,
keep Lana in your thoughts, because I have a note to make when we get to her husband a little bit later.
Oh, boy. Boy. But yeah, thumbs up for Natalya and Naomi. That was the first good match of the show.
That was a 6. I gave that a solid 6. Good match.
All right. Up next.
Oh, God.
This, I have mixed feelings about this next match. Big Show versus Big Cass. It's a bunch of big guys, Sean. I don't think you understand.
Bullshit is what it was.
I don't think you understand. It's two big guys.
And yet neither of them really were the attraction in this match. Nobody really cared about the actual match going on.
Like,
nobody.
Enzo comes out and he starts talking. And talking. And talking. And can you tell the fine people what I messaged you on Facebook during his promo?
Why did Enzo even have a promo time?
I don't know. Me and Sean were talking throughout the show, and during Enzo's promo, I just messaged Sean, please shut the F up, because I was getting furious, because I do not like Enzo at all. I think his mic ability has been greatly exaggerated, at least in my opinion. But this promo, he just was going on about nothing. The same crap that he's been going on for months.
Well, he tried to make rap references that most wrestling fans weren't going to accept. I guess, like, it's just, that's a different stage for a different group of people, you know? It's like, I'm a big fan of the rap game, but even I was like, these fans, the Barclays Center was dead during that promo.
Yeah.
Totally dead.
And he even tried to do things where, like, you get the crowd involved, like he would say something and he would point the mic towards the crowd. Dead silence.
Nothing.
Not even crickets, just dead silence. It was like a funeral. And then Big Cass comes out and cuts off his promo, which I thought was hilarious. Isn't that what babyfaces do to heels?
That was the best part of the match.
No. The best part of the match comes later. But isn't that usually something that babyfaces do? Cut off the heels with music?
It could go either way. It depends on... I mean, I was trying to get heat on Cass, but I think most people...
Didn't work. Didn't work.
About Enzo at all, so it made Cass look like somebody who... I think he actually got decently cheered
when
he did come out.
But then the match started. This was 10 times as boring as John Cena versus Baron Corbin.
The only highlight of this match was Enzo not even lubing himself. I still can't believe I'm saying this. Enzo lubing himself up after stripping down to his underwear and sliding through the shark cage door, which he could have done without the lube.
Yes.
Hung on the cage door, just stared at Enzo, stared at Cass rather, hanging on the door, and then Enzo knew as soon as he dropped, he was getting pelted.
Yes. He drops.
Went, bam.
Immediately gets decapitated. I lost it.
We were talking public humiliation before with Corbin. Even more so Enzo.
Dude, I laughed so hard. I laughed on and off for like a good 30 seconds, really hard.
Self-management.
It was fun. It was so funny. He went through all the trouble to get out of that freaking shark cage and immediately gets killed. It was absolutely hysterical.
I think it shows how much heat he has with WWE and apparently everybody backstage.
Can you blame everybody backstage? I mean,
not really, no.
I'm with Corey Graves on this one, man, but good lord, the dude is so aggravating. And also,
he's losing fan support, so I'm guessing we're not going to be seeing much more of him.
Good.
Come hell or hot water.
Good. But also, can I just state that it's 2017 and Big Show is still in pay-per-view matches?
Well, he said he only had 2 years left last year.
It's 2017. Why? Well, the one
he only used one hand.
The one positive in this entire thing, aside from the absolute hilarity of the public humiliation of Enzo Amore, was Big Cass looked really strong. I mean, he knocked Enzo out, then he knocked out Big Show and won. So he left them both laying. So
yeah, and I'm kind of left wondering. I gave this match a 3, but the big question I had from this was like, did anybody really benefit from this match?
I did.
Because Cass could have easily faced anybody else on the roster and gotten that same amount of beatdown and same amount of heat by facing somebody who had a little bit more of a skill set. Not to take anything away from Show, but it just Enzo looked like a chump. Show looked like his age, and Cass looked like he was just there. Another day's work. It's like this match could have easily been on the pre-show and nobody said anything.
Yeah. The only person that benefited from this match was me because I laughed my ass off. But speaking of that, up next, this pissed you off.
This hurts my heart.
This pissed a lot of people off. It made me laugh 10 times as hard as I laughed at the Enzo thing. Randy Orton versus Rusev. Is there a thing like Rusev's just not allowed to wrestle at SummerSlam anymore? Because this happened last year with Roman Reigns.
What did Rusev do to deserve this? What did he do? Like, is really marrying the person he loves that much of a catastrophe for WWE that they're like, you know what? Screw this guy forever.
Well, remember, he also cut his hair when he wasn't supposed to. That's a big no-no.
Well, I've actually heard from Jim Cornette that actually is a no-no because you could cut somebody's hair, but you could do a hair versus hair match and that become more selling tickets. If you're trying to get somebody to draw, at least have them cut their hair and do it in a way where you could still make money out of it.
You do realize the last time there was a hair match, it involved El Torito and Hornswoggle, right?
Exactly. If you had a Rusev versus somebody else with hair match, that would have made it way more legitimate than a shorter people match.
Yeah.
To be PC.
Screw that. But anyway, Randy Orton's making his entrance. Rusev attacks him. They brawl a little bit. Well, actually, they didn't brawl. Rusev was beating the crap out of him. He actually gave him that fall-away slam Samoan drop into the barricade, which I thought looked awesome. Then he rolls him in the ring. Cool. He rolls him in the ring. Referee backs off Rusev. Randy gets to his feet. Bell rings. RKO. Done. I almost fell out of my chair. After what happened with Enzo being the biggest geek in the entire universe, then this, I could not contain myself. I was howling with laughter. I was kicking my feet. I just about lost it. I did lose it several times, but man, I laughed so hard. And it's not even that I don't like. It's not that I don't like Rusev. I do like Rusev. It's just that it was so hilarious to me.
It was just stupid booking. I'm like,
yes.
I mean, it was just in the fact that it was that stupid a booking. Yes, it's funny because it's like really. But here's my question again, coming out of all this: why was Rusev drafted to SmackDown?
I know, right?
He moves to SmackDown. He doesn't show up for 3 or 4 months. He gets his ass handed to him by John Cena, and then gets squashed by Orton. What a career!
Don't forget, he asked for a title match at Money in the Bank and didn't get it.
And didn't get one. So he's really been making moves since moving to the Blue brand.
I'm sorry, but that's the best part. He asked for a match and didn't get one.
And then he's like, all right, I'll just try my luck elsewhere, and it has not gone well for him.
And it is never mentioned again. I think me mentioning it now is the first time it has been mentioned since by any human being on the planet. Poor Rusev. People are saying poor Baron Corbin.
No,
Rusev didn't ask for this. Rusev did not deserve
this at all.
Poor guy.
My note with Lana, though, is that Lana has been booked better on SmackDown than Rusev.
And she was, like, squashed. She was squashed by Naomi 2 consecutive weeks. But and also, I heard on the internet, I don't know how true this source is, but apparently Rusev is in negotiations for his release.
Well, if that is true, I honestly can't say no to that. I mean, he's obviously not going to be used.
Yeah.
Not in the way that people have wanted him to be used. And who knows, I honestly could see him doing very, very well in Lucha Underground and really getting to a lot of other places to get big and then come back to WWE as a way bigger player.
Well.
But who knows?
Yeah. Alright, so after I was done laughing, after I could see again, it was Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. Before the match started, Sasha Banks met up with Bayley backstage.
He got the crap booed out of her.
Thunderous boos.
There was not a cheer in that building.
I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised.
I thought that was the time that I was laughing. I thought that was hysterical. I was like, Bayley, you're trying so hard, and people just do not want it.
It's because she's been booked like absolute anus this year. They have butchered her character, made her such a geek. That kendo stick on a pole match at Extreme Rules, just ugh.
Yeah.
But then they had Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss, and I think the Natalya Naomi match was better, but this was still pretty good.
I really like this match. I kind of put this on par. I'd say it was about the same, and I would have given it a higher ranking had it not been so obvious they were rushing the finish.
The finish came out of nowhere.
Well, but you could tell there's a point about 3/4 of the way through the match when there's like a bank statement out of nowhere, and it just shows up, and like, oh, well, I guess we're going into finish after finish after finish, and it happened like within seconds.
Yeah, and then Alexa Bliss.
Like, oh, they're running out of time.
Yeah, and then Alexa Bliss pulls out Twisted Bliss, and I was like, oh, she can still do that. I forgot she did that. And then she got put in the bank statement and tapped out. But there was one spot in the match that I thought was absolutely awesome. The best spot in this match, at least in my opinion. When Alexa Bliss went for the code red out of the corner, but Sasha reversed her momentum and gave her like an Alabama slam in the ropes. I thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was solid.
I love that spot. That was cool. I thought
the apron spot where she swept the apron.
Yeah,
let's swept it out of Sasha. A lot of people said that was botched, but even if it was botched, it looked convincing enough.
Yeah.
Where that it looked like she lost her momentum and just fell.
Yeah.
Off the apron. I thought even if it was not supposed to go that way, they played it well.
Yeah. But and I'm happy that Sasha Banks won. She's Alexa Bliss is the hottest person on planet Earth, but she's not the best wrestler. So
she's getting better.
Yeah, she is.
She's trying hard.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like Nia Jax. She's actually putting forth effort.
Yeah,
But speaking
and
of...
my question is this. What do you think, when do you think they're going to end this feud? I mean, now they have to have a rematch at least.
Yeah.
Do you think they run it through till Survivor Series? Do they just blow it off at Hell in a Cell? Do we see them in a cell match? No, they can't.
No, yeah.
Hell in a Cell SmackDown, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
TLC is Raw, which is weird, and it's in October, which is also weird. But I think they might have a third match at No Mercy, because that's the next pay-per-view and it's Raw. So they might have a match at No Mercy. I don't know, or a match on Monday Night Raw and then have Sasha face someone else for No Mercy. But I'm somewhat curious. I usually don't really care that much about the women because of how badly they're booked, but I'm a little curious now, which is an improvement.
I mean, I think that shows how good a choice the title change was last night, because it actually makes me want to figure out, okay, who do they put in line next?
Yeah. And I want to see Natalya as champion, and I want to see Sasha Banks have a title reign that's longer than a month.
Or a week.
That would be nice. That would be very nice. Alright. Up next, Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. The best thing about this match was the entrances.
That was what this whole feud was about.
By far.
I watched that whole promo vignette, and I'm really, the thing I said, literally when that ended, I was like, so Bray Wyatt's mad that Balor has a more over entrance than him, and that's why they're fighting?
Also pig blood. also that weird... One of the idiots on commentary said that was acidic liquid.
Yeah.
Dude.
That was cool.
Dude. Michael Cole got...
acidic, he wouldn't be alive.
Michael Cole got on my tits this last night. Like, he got acidic liquid thrown in. Then why is he still alive? Why is he not a skeleton?
Yeah, this is a reptile from Mortal Kombat.
It did not erode his skin. Quit lying to me. And I'll get to Michael Cole later during that Raw tag match, because he started to get on my nerves. But, and then the commentators on SmackDown also got on my nerves during the U.S. title match. But again, we'll get to that. The match itself was fine.
Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything you'd write home about. It's like,
yeah.
Now, we're kind of on opposite sides of the spectrum, but I think we feel the same way about our respective dislike. Yeah. I cannot get into Finn Balor the same way you cannot get into Bray Wyatt.
Well, the reason for that is, the reason why you can't get into to Finn Balor and the reason why I can't get into Bray Wyatt are for different reasons. The reason why I can't get into Bray Wyatt is because it's the same feud with a different person every time, and Bray Wyatt always ends up losing. And I just don't care. I don't care. That's all he ever does is lose.
He's a glorified jobber to the stars. I mean, that's what he's been since he debuted.
Well, he had that little hot streak. He had that little hot streak at the beginning of 2014. Then John Cena. Then they tried a little bit building to WrestleMania 31. Then Undertaker. And after Undertaker beat him, that was it.
That was it.
That was completely it.
I mean, even his World Championship win early this year didn't even feel like it meant anything.
It felt significant when it happened. Although it would have been better if he beat AJ Styles for the title and John Cena wasn't champion, but that's a discussion for another day that will most likely make my blood boil. But anyway,
that's exactly it. Is they didn't even set it up well for Bray to win the title. So when he did win the title, it was like, oh, it's big, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
And then he lost it to Randy Orton in the worst match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Good God, that match.
Oh, you mean you didn't like projected grubs on your ring in the middle of a match?
Where the referee pretended that it was real?
Yeah, come on, dude. That's WWE at its finest.
If they did, the first time they did it, I was like, that's weird. And then they kept doing it, and I was like, okay, you're killing this match. You are murdering this match. And then, it would have been cool if they did that during Bray Wyatt's entrance.
Yeah.
Not during the match. And the match...
It would be nice if Bray and Orton had any chemistry at all, and they don't.
That too. But no matter how bad their WrestleMania match was, it was not anywhere... It was not in the same universe as bad as their match at Payback. God.
True.
that House of Horrors match, I almost turned off the show.
You tried, WWE. You tried.
I think I actually did turn off the show and didn't turn it back on until that match was over. Whatever.
Well, but anyway, the reason I don't like Balor is this: I've watched him so many times. I've watched a ton of his NXT matches. I've watched the 2 or 3 he's had on pay-per-views up to this point, and his entrance is awesome. I like the idea of the Demon King. Maybe it's his stature. Maybe it's just the way that maybe there's something in his psychology that I'm just not getting. But I don't see a Balor match that I've really liked yet.
What about the one with him versus Adrian Neville at NXT TakeOver Arrival?
You know, it's so funny because you're not the only person who said go rewatch that match, and I have seen that match. And I honestly think that's more Neville's doing than it is Balor's.
I think it was both of them. And I loved all 3 of his matches with Kevin Owens. And I loved his match with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam last year. I thought him versus Seth Rollins last year was the best match of the night at SummerSlam last year.
That one was probably my favorite of all of them. He's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's fine.
And also the fans ruined that match.
Yes. But as much as I don't blame the fans, because I was just as pissed off as they were about that ugly, ugly, ugly belt. But they did kind of ruin the match. It was like, we get it, the belt sucks, move on, enjoy the match. But they did win over the crowd. Although they were vociferously crapping all over that belt. They did kind of win the crowd back. And the crowd was into the match by the end. Plus, we got to see the small package driver, which was absolutely insane. Plus, Finn Balor...
I'm not discrediting that Balor's talented. He's very talented in the ring. He's just... there's something about his psychology that I can't get myself absorbed into. But I recognize his talent. I mean, obviously, they're very high on him, considering how many good matches he's had with top guys.
Yeah. Dude, he was so over in this match. The crowd was absolutely into him. When he was facing Bray Wyatt.
There was really only one person to care about in that match.
Yeah.
And it was Balor. Because WWE has shown us we shouldn't care about Bray Wyatt.
Exactly. It was like the crowd was adoring Finn Balor, and then this other guy was just there for some reason. That's what it felt like.
But I will say this about Bray. There's a moment in that match that really made me remember why I do like Bray Wyatt. As far as his work, his actual in-ring work, it was after a kick out, it was after, I think, I forget what he did. It wasn't Sister Abigail because he never hit it, but he hit something.
A Uranagi?
And might have been a Uranagi, but Balor kicks out and he kind of looks down and he looks kind of near the camera, and you could see a look on his face of I've never encountered something like this before. And I'm really stupefied at it. Not like The Undertaker where he was prepared for it, but he was more like just, I don't know how to handle this. And then immediately turned into that twisted smile of oh, I'm going to have fun finding out.
I guess I missed that.
And it's the little stuff like that I always enjoyed about Bray. I just wish that he mattered.
Yeah. Without the maggots and the crickets and the other things, and the House of Horrors. But anyway, and then Finn Balor won clean, 50-50 booking. Wonderful.
I think they had to do that. I'm not surprised at that. I think Balor needed a win, otherwise nobody'd take him seriously.
Yeah, but then, I get why they had Bray Wyatt beat him in Raw, and they're he'll need to transform into the demon. But still stupid, but anyway.
I think it was just poor build-up to the match, too. I just don't think they really had a good story going into it.
But Sean... the acidic liquid. I mean,
God.
This company. But yeah.
Why do we put up with this company after so many years? Why are we tolerant of WWE's crap?
Up next was my favorite match of the entire show: Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins versus Sheamus and Cesaro.
This match.
Yes, this was for the Raw Tag Team titles, and I loved this match.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, anytime that you have the bar in a match, especially with two vets like Ambrose and Rollins, there was going to be solid tag team work. Yeah. This was a classic, well-told tag team match.
Yeah, and a lot of people complain that Dean Ambrose just feels like he's just going through the motions. He doesn't care. He seemed like he was excited during this match. It
definitely felt like a bolt of energy out of him. I agree with that.
Yeah. Although there were a few things in this match that did annoy me. I would like to find out who brought the beach ball and strangled them. Although it was awesome when Cesaro ran out and ripped. That was hilarious. When he ran.
That was fantastic.
It was.
I love how the fans popped so hard when he ripped that in half.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yes.
But that presents a problem that they're going to be like, oh, he's going to do it every time we bring a beach ball now. So that might.
I almost wonder if that beach ball was a plant. Like, they put that there on purpose so it would eventually go over there and have him rip it, I hope they didn't set that up, that's all.
Yeah. That's why Cesaro's awesome. And then rewind to the Vince McMahon podcast where he's just boring. Dude. The majority of people on planet Earth disagree with you, Vince. But anyway, the other thing that annoyed me in this match... my voice. The other thing that annoyed me in this match, Dean Ambrose gets him. They were going for like a heart attack, and then Seth Rollins runs over, gives him a sling blade heart attack, which looked awesome. Well, it looked cool. And then Michael Cole's like, blockbuster! It was a blockbuster.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to reach through the screen and just strangle him. And of course, Corey Graves later was like, he gave him a sling blade, and Michael Cole just completely no sells it, and I'm just like. You have been doing this since the mid to late 90s. And you misname moves all the time. I remember when he called a spine buster a sidewalk slam. I remember when Randy Orton gave Evan Bourne a top rope RKO and Michael Cole said, "Oh, running bulldog."
What's sad is that he was really good at the UK Championship tournament. Like, he was back to his old self, calling moves correctly. So, Vince in his ear must really get the call.
I know, but I do kind of feel sad for him when you bring up Michael Cole. When you bring up Vince being in his ear, but that still drives me nuts. But anyway, other than those two, that fan that brought the beach ball, although it did lead to an awesome moment, and Michael Cole being Michael Cole, this was awesome.
I think this had the best energy of the night. I mean, aside from the main event, as far as fan reaction goes,
yeah.
I mean, the pop that Dean and Seth got when they won the titles, I haven't seen a tag pop like that since the Hardys returned.
They popped as loud when they won as hard as they booed Bayley. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. And I thought that was actually really cool. It's a well-told story. They did well building up to this. I'm excited to see where it turns, how long they make this run go. Do they reunite with Roman Reigns at some point? It seems likely.
Dude, I want to see Dean and Seth versus the Hardy Boys. I want to see that match. Bring it on, let's go.
You'll see them against the Broken Hardys more than you would see them against the Hardys.
Well, you know what I mean. So yeah, this was my favorite match of the show. It was really good. So
yeah, I gave this an 8. I mean, I was satisfied with this match. Up to this point, there had been nothing that good.
Yeah. The first half of the show was but the second half of the show was really good. Second half
picked up.
Yeah, definitely picked up. And then we had AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship with Shane McMahon as special guest referee. And I think it's hilarious that the U.S. title has been bouncing around so much this year, and on this show where every single title is changing, the first title that's successfully defended is the U.S. title.
Thank God, in my opinion.
Thank God.
I think that it really, the U.S. title, they've been trying so hard. This has been, the backup quarterback championship, because, they try so hard to make this feel like a legitimate title.
Yes.
And then they flop it around people, and they give hot potato titles, and they have title matches on SmackDown all the time. To see AJ actually defend this was so necessary.
Yeah, And the video package for this AJ Styles Kevin Owens match was absolutely fantastic.
Well, we were talking about it at the end of the show. I mean,
yeah.
WWE's video production team is bar none the best entity in WWE.
Yes, they make it look so good.
You could feed them steamed shit on a plate with noodles, and they'll make it look like a WrestleMania match. It's amazing.
I'm sorry, did you just say Battleground 2017?
I did.
Did you just say Punjabi
amazing.
Prison?
That's amazing you were able to hear that.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like I'm multilingual. I'm not. I'm really not.
Between the lines interpretation.
But this match was also really good, even though it had the handicap of Shane, and there's another commentary moment that annoyed me that I'll get to. This was really good.
It was a lot of Shane in that match for a special referee, you know what I mean? Like, he took a lot of bumps. He was actually really involved for a special referee. And you don't really see that a whole lot. And I thought that was different enough to make it refreshing, but at the same time, it also took away from Owens and Styles really having the blow-off that they should have had. Yeah,
I agree. They still kind of had it, but they had to work through that handicap, and I think they did a great job. Although, there were two things in this match, well, besides Shane, that annoyed me. The 450 spot where Kevin Owens pulled the referee on top of him. The commentators completely missed that. And they were like, why did Shane jump on top of Kevin Owens? And the guys that showed the replay showed AJ flying through the air, but they didn't show Kevin Owens pulling him on top of him. And the announcers were like, well, that was weird. Shane just randomly jumped on top of Kevin Owens. That was weird. And I was like, he pulled him on top of him. Am I the only one watching this that has eyes?
Well, and it really hurts because, like, the commentary is so necessary for the feel of a match, and to have them miss something that important to the psychology takes away from the feeling that we get watching it.
Yes. It's like they're the important narrators, and they miss that. And I'm just like, how? And the other thing that annoyed me in this match is very minor. They did the getting mad at the referee and then the referee shoving the person and then into a roll-up. They did that in this match twice. I would not have had a problem with that if they did that spot back-to-back, like AJ was yelling at Shane, then Shane pushes AJ, then Kevin Owens rolls him up, and then vice versa, immediately back-to-back. No, they did it with AJ and Kevin Owens, and then, like, 5 minutes later, they did the exact same spot with Kevin Owens, this time getting shoved. And I was like, okay, that was a little repetitive, but that was just me.
I mean, you gotta love Owens, though, because one of the things that makes him so over for me is how much he can get his character over through dialogue mid-match.
He was fantastic during this match.
His character shines so well.
The best line in this match, after Shane McMahon got that 450 and he hit the powerbomb, but he got, AJ kicked out because Shane was too slow on the cover, Kevin Owens screamed at him, "You fall off buildings! You can't count to 3!
Yeah.
You fall off buildings!" That made me laugh. That was awesome.
See, and then it's a testament again. Those two, AJ and Owens, are arguably the best workers WWE has right now.
Yeah.
I would say, as far as the classic heel work we've gotten from Owens since his debut.
Yeah.
I mean, and the same with AJ, and now that AJ's, I guess, full-blown baby face.
Sort of.
Even though he had a couple tweener moments in the build-up to this, so.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought the match was good.
Yeah.
I overhyped myself to these two because I kind of feel like the first two matches were fine, and this one was probably the best of the three.
Yeah.
But overall, I feel a little let down.
Yeah.
From about the feud, I really expected the classics. Instant classics from these two, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the timing of it all.
Yeah, I really enjoyed their Backlash match, and I loved the finish they had for Backlash. I sort of liked their Battleground match, although the finish was absolutely bizarre.
It's Battleground 2017.
Yeah, everything on that show was absolutely bizarre, but
Yeah.
And not in a good way, but yeah, this was their best match, and they worked through the Shane McMahon handicap, and I thought it was really good. And they're probably setting up for a Kevin Owens Shane McMahon match, or
I wouldn't be surprised. Survivor Series would be my bet.
Yeah, Survivor Series team match. Yeah, probably. Whatever. I mean, that I would take that over a singles match between the two, because you're just, in my opinion, you're wasting Kevin Owens. But whatever.
Well, with Shane and AJ at WrestleMania, you knew that AJ was going to be able to successfully carry Shane through a great match.
I wouldn't say great. I would say really good.
But you know what I mean. Better than anybody thought it was going to be.
What was your favorite match at WrestleMania this year? Just curious.
It was tough because I didn't think anything was spectacular. But I would say probably Rollins Triple H.
Yep, me too.
Second only to Shane and AJ.
Yeah, I thought Seth Rollins and Triple H was the best match on that show. Oh,
yeah. Again, Triple H can still tell a great story when he wants to.
Yeah, and Seth was really good at selling his leg, and he finally hit the Phoenix Splash, and Stephanie McMahon going through a table was absolutely fantastic. Well, all right, back to SummerSlam. So, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, thumbs up. Mild thumbs up.
Good.
Up next, we had Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Now we're getting to the good ones.
Yes, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. That was my dad. He walked in and handed me something. But when you look at SummerSlam last year and then look at SummerSlam this year, we went from Dolph Ziggler versus Dean Ambrose to Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Little weird.
Dolph Ziggler wasn't even on the card this year. He wasn't even on the pre-shows yet. He was Colonel frickin' Sanders this year.
That KFC commercial was so weird.
I don't understand.
It was so weird. But Shawn Michaels was awesome though. It was nice to see, but why? Yeah. What did Shawn have to gain from doing that? Unless he's like out of money. He doesn't care. That's his thing. He doesn't care. I'm retired. I can do what I want.
You know, it's amazing. Shawn Michaels as Colonel Sanders is still more over than Dolph Ziggler as Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. So, notice how we're talking about we're talking about Colonel Sanders while we're during the Jinder Mahal Shinsuke Nakamura portion.
Okay,
I find that interesting.
Here's the thing about this match. A lot of people didn't like this match from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was bad. I thought it was better than it was gonna be.
Same here.
I thought Jinder was better in ring than I've seen him. The one thing I had an issue with, there's only one thing I really didn't like about this match.
The finish.
Because it's the same finish we've seen every month with his reign. And I wouldn't have even cared if, Nakamura took the 2 out and then Nakamura kicked out of the, I can't even remember the name of the finisher, but
the Colossus that was massively screwed up.
Yeah, because then you could, if you give like even two more minutes of that, and then Jinder's still winning clean. I don't mind Mahal going over. I more have the issue with how it was done.
Yeah, it's the same finish that they've done pay-per-view after pay-per-view, and it's really annoying.
But at least the Great Khali was nowhere to be found.
Oh my God!
At least.
Ugh.
Actually, word is he was supposed to appear, but he's so slow he didn't make it out to the arena in time.
That does sound accurate. I would believe that. He's pretty much vanished since Battleground. Is it just?
That's okay.
Yes, that's fine. I'm stunned that he can climb a cage though, even though he only got like.
That was a one-off anyway. I don't think he was actually coming back for real.
It was a cameo.
Yeah.
It was a bizarre Indian cameo.
But I'm excited to see Mahal's reign continue because I think that Jinder only benefits from having the belt more, but they need to change the finishes.
Yes.
I don't mind him having the belt. It's a change of pace that I like. And I don't think Nakamura would have... I don't think it's the right time for Shinsuke to hold the belt.
Yeah. Well, I would have been really happy if he won the title, but I don't really care either way that he didn't. The only thing that bothered me about this match again was the finish. I thought I know a lot of people hated this match, thought it was terrible. I thought it was which I was expecting terrible, and I got so that's positive. That's a positive-ish.
Yeah.
And for the when the Colossus is supposed to be a Cobra Clutch Slam, for some reason this one looked like Billy Gunn's one and only. I don't know what happened.
It looked like Billy Gunn botched the one and only.
Yes, it looked,
because it was a botch.
It looked very odd.
Yeah, and I mean, and Shinsuke losing that way, I don't think that hurts Nakamura.
No,
I think he's too good to have a loss to Jinder Mahal really affect him. And also, I think that it kind of makes Shinsuke only debuted at the Shake-Up.
Yeah.
After WrestleMania?
Yeah, his first pay-per-view was Backlash.
Yeah. So, I feel like as just debuting months ago is way too soon to be giving Shinsuke a world... Like, I'm fine with the title match, but giving him the title this early, I feel like that would make him deflate earlier.
It's similar to last year with AJ, because he was in WWE title matches only a few months into his debut, and he lost them, but he was still fine. It didn't hurt him at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when he did win the title and held it and had that reign, it meant something. It made him feel important.
Yeah, and he was awesome as the champion. And the way he lost the championship was absolute BS, and it didn't mean anything except to break a record. This company. This company.
Why? Why do we bother? Why do we care?
Yes, but,
What?
Alright. Here comes the point of the video where you're about to see two people who massively disagree with something.
Now,
disagree with each other.
Get into this. I have to ask a question for all of the fans out there, because I know this already, but I still want to know, what is it about Braun Strowman that you dislike? Like, what is it about him that makes you dislike him?
There are several things about Braun Strowman that I hate. For one, to me, I hate the way that he came up. That first off,
How
like,
so?
My first impression of him was a massive negative, because he came up, and just because he was big, he had not much training. He didn't go through NXT. If he went through NXT and improved through NXT, if they gave him the Authors of Pain treatment, then I probably would like him. Like him-ish.
Okay.
But the way they shot him off, that was a negative to me, and it's kind of like the Roman Reigns thing, where even though Roman Reigns is not as bad as he was, it's still a sour taste because of the way it started, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I still have that sour taste in my mouth with his start, and I will admit he has improved, although I still think that he's boring. His moveset bores me, his personality bores me, his promos bore me. He does the same run really fast, someone moves out of the way, he bounces off something spot all the time, drives me nuts. But the number one thing I absolutely cannot stand about him is how over he is. I cannot stand it.
People love him, man. I don't understand it.
I do not... liking someone is fine, loving someone is fine, but I do not understand the passion that wrestling fans have for this guy. I do not understand it.
He attracts the casuals. That's the thing. It's like...
And the hardcores.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I do not understand.
Well, and in this match particularly, there was because I haven't seen much Strowman, even though I've watched a lot of Balor matches and whatnot. I haven't seen a ton of Strowman, but what I've always found is there are way too many power slams and not much else.
Yes, his finishing move is a power slam. Why couldn't he do I somewhat liked the choke that he used to do. I kind of like that.
Like that reverse choke slam? Oh, the cross choke?
Yeah, because he's a big dude, and the dude's hanging off of him. It's like he's being hanged. I liked that. Or where the sideways flapjack that he used to do, he still does it, but it's not a finishing move. That move looks cool. Why can't that be his finishing move? No, a crappy power slam.
Shout out to Davey Boy Smith, by the way.
Yeah. I bet he's
because when you
smiling
did it was
there.
Cool.
I don't like his theme song. There is literally nothing about Braun Strowman that I like. I hate his drop kick. I hate the bumps that he takes. I hate watching him wrestle. I just whenever I see him, I want to turn the show off. Especially when the crowd is salivating over him.
Well, I think it wasn't just Strowman that the crowd was over with. I think they loved everybody in that match. And
when they started chanting Strowman, Strowman, and then Roman Reigns gave him the drive-by kick and completely cut them off, I absolutely started cheering at the screen. Yes, yes, take that, fans.
It's funny because like there's no denying. And I think WWE damn well knows this. There's no denying that there was only one heel in that match.
Yeah.
And that was Roman Reigns.
Yes.
He was clearly, Strowman, babyface. Lesnar, babyface. Joe, babyface. Reigns was the clear heel in that match.
I will get to Joe when we really get into the match, but your thoughts on my explanation as to why I do not like Braun Strowman at all?
I think it's justified. I've watched Strowman as for whatever times I have, and I've always found his moveset limited.
Very limited.
Even beforehand. Beforehand it was extremely limited. Now it's a little better. He's got better ring presence. I don't think his moveset's better. I think he just knows his way around a ring a little bit better.
He is improving. He's improving, he's getting better. I just don't... Whenever I don't like something and everyone else loves it and won't shut up about it, it makes me hate it. For example...
I think it's because he's been booked so well. WWE has really put so much faith in this dude.
I don't think it's that. I think it's that he beats the crap out of the most hated man in WWE. He tipped the dude over in an ambulance. I think if it wasn't for Roman Reigns, I don't think there would have been a Braun Strowman. So
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think you can make that argument
because
Strowman wasn't really getting a reaction up to that point,
and then he started murdering Roman Reigns, and then everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, he's a threat to Roman Reigns! Cheer him! Cheer him!"
Yeah,
and I'm just like, guys, like, if you remember Fastlane? Everyone got so mad when Roman Reigns... I actually like that pay-per-view. I'm the one human being on planet Earth that liked that pay-per-view. And it's because Roman Reigns beat Braun Strowman, and I went on a tangent on Twitter. But my Twitter, by the way, like, I try to temper what I say on Facebook because certain people watch my Facebook. Like, not many people I know on Facebook are on Twitter, so I kind of have more free reign to say what I want. I go off on Twitter sometimes. So yeah, there's a nice plug for my Twitter.
Yeah, you might as well just put the name of it now, just to get a little thing right there at the bottom part.
At JoshAgeddon TAW, if you want to get offended, because
it's also in the description.
I have no filter whatsoever. I don't swear on I try not to swear on Twitter or any social media, but yeah, the plug out of the way. So you loved this match. I had different feelings. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
Clearly.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I know why, though, because there's a certain style that WWE likes in their main event scene that I like to call big boy, big spot matches, which is, like, not very, like, technical bouts. It's all, like, these big spots. Like, they always do, like, the barricade. Perfect example, Goldberg-Lesnar.
Yes.
WrestleMania, any of their matches.
Yeah.
Big spots. It's not technical. It's just, oh look, there's 4 big dudes in the ring. Let's do some big ass spots, and that's it. And it's not, doesn't matter what your ring ability is. Doesn't matter who you're facing, and it's never been your cup of tea. I've noticed.
I loved their match at WrestleMania.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, it's not even. It's sort of that. It's more just like when the people that they have in those matches, I tend to not like those wrestlers. It's hard for me to enjoy a match when there's someone in the match that I do not like.
Well, that's kind of why I never really got into Balor Wyatt, you know? Yeah.
Like, last year with John Cena and AJ Styles, I still think that match is massively overrated. But the reason...
Which
one? The one at SummerSlam.
Right.
But the reason why it was really hard for me to get in that match is because I absolutely do not like John Cena. And in my opinion, AJ Styles carried Cena for the majority of that match. Cena did a cool-looking Code Red. That's about it.
I'll tell you what, though. I bet you that match would not have the acclaim it has had John Cena won.
Nope. Mm-mm. And then they had the rematch of the Royal Rumble. But the match of the Royal Rumble was nowhere near as good as the one at SummerSlam, even though I think the one at SummerSlam was overrated. I still thought it was a good match. Which, if John Cena is in a match that I like, that's something special, I guess. That's saying something. Like, he wasn't awful like I think he usually is, although there were a few moments, like, he took a lot of butt bumps during that match. Like, off the AJ Styles flurry, he took a butt bump and it looked terrible. But he wasn't terrible John Cena. He actually looked like he was giving forth effort.
True.
I know we're going all over the place, but...
Way more than he had yesterday.
Yeah, way more than he had yesterday. But the reason why I did not like their Royal Rumble match, because the Royal Rumble match was copy and paste, pretty much the exact same match as the one at SummerSlam, except with a different finish. It was the same match.
Yeah, like 1,000 finishes. I don't like any match that has 1,000 finishes in it because I'm a fan of keeping the finish protected.
Yes.
That's one thing about the Mahal match that I do have to respect about WWE's booking of Jinder Mahal.
They're protecting the Colossus.
Takes one.
They're protecting the Colossus.
Yeah. And
that's one of the reasons why I did not much care for the... Well, I liked the AJ Styles John Cena match at SummerSlam, but they kicked out of way too much stuff. Like, the Super AA did not get me. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he kicked out of it. And I was like...
I'm not a fan of it.
Like, I was like, dude, last year someone kicked out of it. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
Last year, Kevin Owens kicked out of it. Why is it so hard for you to believe that someone will kick out of it now? And then at the Royal Rumble, they did it again. And this time, like, no one bought it. Even the people who loved that match didn't buy it because AJ kicked out of it the months prior. But again, we're going all over the place. Back to SummerSlam. I have several problems with this match, but I'll let you gush over it first.
All right. Well, let me say this. It's like I'm a big fan of the character development we've seen for Brock Lesnar this year.
Oh my God, yes.
I think the fact that he has really kind of been derailed as the Beast incarnate has really, you can see the confidence difference in Brock Lesnar. Even with what happened with Goldberg, I think that's really when that started.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've turned like this biggest, there was a time in WWE where he was the apex, the alpha male.
Yeah.
And now there's all these guys who are bringing him to the very edge of his physical ability. He's going up against bigger guys than him.
Yeah.
He was beating the crap out of this match. He took a lot of bumps.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of bumps.
And you mentioned, fun fact, when Brock Lesnar was the top of the food chain, like not when he was WWE World Champion back in like 2002. That was my favorite period of wrestling, when he was the top guy, because when it was him, Undertaker, him and Kurt Angle.
Here's my controversy. Unforgiven 2002, which had the very first Brock Lesnar Undertaker match as the main event, is to this day my favorite pay-per-view of all time.
That was a pretty good, even with the disqualification, it was still an awesome match.
It didn't really even feel like the double DQ hurt the outcome, because they had that post-match brawl.
Yeah. Threw him through the sign like a long dart.
That match was so good.
And then they had that Hell in a Cell match. Oh my, the most violent.
The first one. Let's clear it up for
Yes, the first one.
2002.
Not the crappy remake. Not Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh dear God. Let's not go there.
Yes, I'll go there. Although that's a little harsh. Their second Hell in a Cell match was okay, I guess.
Still decent, yeah.
It was good, but what made me mad about that match is they pretended that the first one didn't exist. That made me mad.
As always, WWE has like the memory of Dory.
Yes. But that's one of my favorite Hell in a Cell match is Triple H versus Batista. I love that match.
That was a good one.
Yeah, but Brock and
we have yet to see the barbed wire steel chair come back since.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why, because that was freaking awesome. And Brock and Undertaker's maybe my third favorite. My second favorite is probably Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but that's one of my favorites. Yeah, probably the longest Hell in a Cell match. But anyway,
I think it is. But this match here that we keep avoiding talking about,
For reasons.
It's big guy, big spot match. It felt the crowd energy was totally palpable in that, as far as going back and forth. I know that's something you didn't care for, but
that's putting it lightly.
But it's in my, it felt like a big deal. It felt like a main event.
I agree.
Match, and I think that alone definitely amped up how I felt about it. I thought the chemistry was pretty good between all four of them.
Yeah.
Strowman, I think 2 announce tables was the right call. I wish there was a different move.
Yes.
For the second announce table.
Give him a power bomb.
Chokeslam.
Power bomb.
Anything else. Literally anything else.
You're the monster among men. Pick up Brock Lesnar into a military press in the ring, launch him from the ring through the table. If he does that, I will turn the corner on Braun Strowman. If he picks up Brock Lesnar as a military press, throws him from the ring through the announce table, then I will turn the corner on him. That's probably a lie. That's probably a lie, but still.
But you could also, even with that, even if you wanted to do a power slam, you could do that Goldberg power slam. Where he lifts him up in that military press. And then turns him, catches him, and then power slams him.
Or do the Batista power slam from an announce table to the other announce table.
Yeah, it's just the only thing I didn't really care for about that was how one-dimensional Strowman's moveset was in this match. It was literally just power slams.
Yes, it was kind of everyone, but it was very noticeable, especially with me for Strowman, considering that I can't stand him.
But with Joe, he's got more in his arsenal. With Reigns, he's got a couple other moves.
Yeah.
With Lesnar, I guess that is the case with everybody, where they really just do. Joe's probably got the most expansive moveset of any of them.
And that Samoa Joe is another reason why I did not really care for this match that much. Samoa Joe did nothing. He did one Uranagi on the table, and that's it.
Yeah.
He dodged.
He did a suicide dive.
He did?
He had a suicide. Right after that second power slam, I think it was.
Oh, yeah. And then he immediately got bulldozed over the top of a table. But he did, 2-3 things in the match, and that was it. Samoa Joe is a complete... But he didn't
look weak, though.
He didn't look weak. He just looked like another guy that was just there.
Yeah. Well, I do hope that... I think that they are still taking him seriously enough where his booking is still going to be solid over the next several months. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a good WrestleMania match for him.
I hope so.
But still, I see what you mean.
Yeah. When the crowd was going nuts for Braun Strowman, like they were going crazy, I got so freaking mad. I was the last time I got this mad watching a pay-per-view was when John Cena beat Kevin Owens at Battleground 2015. Is
that the one when he tapped?
Yes. I literally turned the show off.
I remember how angry you got that night.
I was furious. There have been few instances in my life where I've gotten that angry. I didn't get that angry yesterday. I came sort of close, but because I was very, very agitated. Plus, I was scared to death that Braun would win. Because if Braun won, I would have been furious. Not to that same level, but still.
I couldn't have imagined, especially after the stretcher spot, that Brock wasn't winning that match.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way that Brock's going to leave and come back and then not win it.
And then the crowd singing "Na Na Hey Hey Goodbye" to Brock Lesnar because they loved Braun so much, that also pissed me off.
I think that also helps Lesnar's character, actually, because it can kind of show how the fans really have turned on the beast because of how exposed he's been this past year. If they really wanted to play that into a storyline, they could, and it would be great, but they won't because this is WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
And the focus is going to be on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
I'm surprised at the finish of this match, though. I thought that, if anything, Samoa Joe was going to be eating the pinfall, unless he won. But I'm surprised that Roman Reigns was pinned so clean.
I think the only only purpose for that is because we all know that it's going to be Reigns-Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. So they're trying to give them another reason to point, like, hey, look, these two should fight each other later. And other than that, I don't see any other reason why Reigns took that pin.
Well, I'm one of the few people that really likes Roman Reigns. So
I like Reigns too.
Yeah, like, and the when he came out, he got like Bayley level boos, except the boos didn't stop.
Yeah.
Because when Bayley got booed, the boos eventually stopped. These did not. So.
Because it's Roman Reigns. You know why I like Roman Reigns though, and it's probably for no other reason except Roman Reigns is WWE's troll.
Yes.
Anytime
that is
that
hilarious.
WWE's like, you know what? Screw the fans. Screw these idiots. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They put Roman Reigns in a big match, and with Roman Reigns winning. And I love when they do it.
When they had Roman Reigns number 30 at the Royal Rumble, I laughed so hard.
I thought that was the funniest thing.
Did you see what, like, those listening? We have a group chat where it's just a bunch of us guys talking about wrestling. When they did that back in January when Roman Reigns was number 30, we were all watching the Rumble and we're like, oh, who's number 30? Who's number 30? And I was kind of pissed off.
Like 2 seconds before, I was like, watch, it's going to be Roman Reigns.
Yes. He was like, watch, it's going to be Roman Reigns. And my pick got thrown out and I was kind of pissed off. And then Roman came out and everyone in the chat got super pissed. And I started cheering.
I was like, hell yeah.
Do you remember? I turned into Willem Dafoe from Spider-Man. I was like, avenge me! Avenge me!
I do remember that.
I lost it, and everyone was screaming, "No! No! F you! No!" And I was like, "Avenge me!"
They're like, "This is fantastic."
I was legit turning into Green Goblin from Spider-Man 2. That...
Which is still the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Get at me.
I like Spider-Man 3 more.
I like Spider-Man 3 too. It's an underrated movie.
Yes, it's my favorite.
But I still like Spider-Man 2.
What positioning do you have for Homecoming?
I haven't seen it yet.
Really?
I have not seen it yet, but I've heard it's decent.
Just decent? It's very good. It's very good. I know we're extremely off topic, but I mean,
we talked about basically everything we can talk about this match. My question is this: when do we see Lesnar next?
I've heard a lot of people say that he's penciled down for No Mercy.
Well,
and I'm super fearful that we're gonna get Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman at No Mercy, and I'm absolutely gonna dread that pay-per-view.
You know, I really hope that doesn't happen because I feel like, especially like after the beating that Lesnar took and like barely slinking away from the title, I feel like it makes more sense for Lesnar's character to stay off television, be like, nah, screw this. This is my title. I don't have to work because I'm a part-timer, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him wait until Survivor Series if he's going to have a match with Strowman. But...
Or just not. Or just not. Can we not, please? I know everyone and their mom wants to see that match so bad that they have vivid dreams about it and fantasies. That is my nightmare. That is my nightmare.
Well, who knows what's going to happen at the Superstar shakeup? You know,
they're having another one.
I think this week.
Oh.
I think as we speak, it's Monday at 9:30 right now, and I think they're jumbling people around.
All right. Well, let me just say the one thing that I love the most about this show is that do you remember maybe a month ago, maybe a few weeks ago, I was terrified that at the end of the show, both John Cena and Braun Strowman were going to walk out world champions.
And neither have.
Thank God. Oh my. If that happened, if he beat Nakamura, then beat Jinder Mahal for the WWE title, then Braun Strowman won the Universal title, my God, I probably would have went bald. I mean...
You probably shouldn't go bald this young in your life.
Like, from stress, from anger, from despair, from...
You're gonna look like One Punch Man.
From despondency. I would have looked like One Punch Man if he got addicted to meth. I would have been so upset. But thankfully that didn't happen. So overall... like this was of course not as good as Brooklyn 3, not even close.
No.
So, what is your ranking for this pay-per-view, Sean?
I mean, to be honest, the first hour was just the drizzling shit. It really was. Save for Natty and Naomi, it was just like, why are we even here? But the fact of how well it picked up, the audience reaction, I thought the Barclays Center was very much a big part of why this show felt good at the end of it. You know, it's like, and, you know, for every match that we had, there were more good matches than bad matches.
Yeah.
Or at least it was even enough to where it didn't really feel, and the pacing was good. It ended at 11, which I think helped. All in all, I gave this show a 7.5. You know, it's not the greatest SummerSlam they've ever given, but I'd say it's one of the better ones in the past 4 or 5 years. Especially
much better than the last two SummerSlams.
Absolutely.
Where it was the reverse of this SummerSlam, where the first half was good and then the second half was awful.
Yeah. So
last year we had a dude drink ball juice.
Yeah.
Some things you cannot unsee.
That happened.
That happened.
So
and Jon Stewart.
I think put the crowd together. It was a fun night of wrestling.
Yeah.
It really was a fun night of wrestling.
Although my blood pressure did start to spike near the end, but I made it. Thank God. I personally, I liked this show less than you did, although I liked the first half more than you did because purely for my own entertainment, because the first half made me laugh several times. Really hard. Like, the public humiliation of Enzo Amore makes me laugh. Although Rusev doesn't deserve it, his burial makes me laugh.
Poor Rusev.
Poor Rusev.
Poor Rusev.
I've been saying all week, poor Baron Corbin, but poor Rusev. It's much worse for him. At least with Baron Corbin and Cena, it was a match.
I'd like to see Corbin go back to NXT and start having some good matches again.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So my overall ranking for this pay-per-view, I'm going to go... trying to think. 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to give it. 6.5 out of 10. It's a good show. In my opinion, the tag match, the Raw tag title match, was the best match of the show. If you absolutely love Braun Strowman, you'll love the Fatal 4-Way. I know I'm the only human being on this planet that did not enjoy the 4-Way because I was worried about my blood pressure. Well, that's about it. Sean, where can people find you on social media?
Well, you could find me, you could like Colonial Impact Wrestling.
Yes, definitely.
Just type that in. I haven't posted stuff in a while, but there's things coming. It's all in the works, so bear with us. Watch some of the old content. Don't worry about the video quality, but there's that. You can find me on Twitter at CIW Colonist, and that's about it. Or you can just find me. I'm not that difficult to find.
Find you, like drive to his house. You'll see the shadow hog-tied on top of the roof.
You're gonna go to the Texaco station, take a right. You're gonna drive 5.5 miles. You're gonna see a guy in a yellow poncho. His name is Hank. He'll take you to the Whopper layer.
These references, they sound funny, but they're going completely over my head because I am a child.
Yeah, and you're about to be flagged for copyright, more likely.
Oh, please. Like, maybe 20 people will watch this. Let's be real. It was fun, though. It was fun, though.
Shout out to you, 20 people.
It was fun, though. It was fun, though. Alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Good night, everybody. Later.
Until next time.